Back, everyone, to the 2014 North American LCS. We're joined now by Cloud9's jungler Meteos, who died on Lee Sin for the first time. Did you care at all?
I didn't really care too much because I feel like I should be dying a lot on Lee Sin if I'm playing him right. But in that specific instance, I could have lived if I played it better. I had my W up and I could have smited Raze to get the spell vamp from the jungle item and lived. So I was kind of like disappointed, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I feel like everyone could have made that play. It's just, I can't believe you missed it, man.
Yeah, I choked.
Okay, so choking aside that you guys still won the game. Coming into the match against Coast, did everything go as expected?
Yeah, it went pretty much according to plan. We accounted for all their picks except the Syndra, which we were kind of surprised by, but it wasn't really able to take off, I guess, how they wanted it to, but it kept us from really like getting a lot of pressure mid. So aside from that, game went pretty smooth. It was a little bit slow, but we got the win.
I want to press you on something. You said you had a counter for every one of their picks. You think you like?
Oh, no, I counted for all of their picks.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Like going through the drafting phase, we like guessed they would pick all those champions.
And you figured that you won champions like them because you picked everything else that you wanted to.
We just knew how to play against it.
Okay.
Yeah. I do have a larger question though for you, because you guys were so dominant in the spring split, but you're actually in second place in North America right now. As a team, what's the difference from the first split to the second split as far as improvements and changes?
Well, I think for last split, we played really reactionary. We didn't try to force a lot of plays, which it's okay. But I think playing more aggressively and trying to force stuff actually gives you an upper hand when executed well.
Yeah.
And so we're having a little growing pain switching our style over to that. So we're not playing maybe as well as we did, but I think it's still a step in the right direction. And as we practice more and play more, hopefully we'll keep improving.
And so speaking of forcing things, you spend a lot of time top lane, actually. A couple of different ganks. Finally, you got it to work against Zion's Mundo. Why'd you spend so much time up there?
Well, Mundo's a champion that is really vulnerable early game, especially to dives, because he's generally low health under his turret. And if you're able to dive him, generally you can snowball on him and he won't get that useful. He'll either have to teleport back into lane to not miss a bunch of creeps, and then his teleport pressure's gone, or he just dies and misses all the creeps, and you get a big advantage on him. So it's good to camp Mundo when we can, and we knew the jungler wasn't around, so we just kept trying to pressure him.
Yeah, you guys definitely seem to do that better than all the other teams in North America right now, but it was still a fairly slow game. We have a clip here of your fight in the bottom lane when you guys kind of really took control. You dove onto a turret. Talk me through why you guys saw the opportunity here and like why now after 22 minutes do you dive the turret?
All right, well, in this clip, this is right after Annie flash ulted high. So High and Annie are both very low, but we knew they didn't have their main initiation. So we pretty much just tried going all in on them. Balls got knocked back as soon as we went in, but Lemon hit the Zenith Blade and we were able to kill Shifter, and then they were cutting back into their base, and we didn't want to dive that hard, so we just peeled back and killed Zion. And I used my ult in the most optimal way to last hit a champion.
Yes.
So it worked out.
The most optimal Lee Sin kick.
Yeah, I mean, it's more gold. You got to make sure. I mean, they're taking your blue buffs, you got to take their champion kills.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good play. Okay, so then coming through the rest of this game, with you guys playing more aggressively and you guys trying to sort of fit into the new team, like, how are you finding yourselves closing games out compared to before?
Well, generally we just try to take all the objectives that we can and pressure them whenever we can, hopefully catching people out, and just wait for them to make a mistake. We don't have as many hard initiations as we did last split with like Ashe, Zac, so it's kind of harder to dive towers, but we just play it out and make safe but aggressive plays.
Yeah, and we actually have one more clip of, I guess, a safe but aggressive play, the only death you've had on Lee Sin this season. If we can actually just pull this one up. Talk to me about the setup to this play and how you guys were able to get the clean initiates on the backline, which are somewhat harder this year.
All right, well, here we Sivir ulted at them because they were far away from their turrets, and we just tried to go in. Lemon missed his Zenith Blade, so instead we decided to turn on these guys. And Wukong jumped in kind of early from his team, and they got really split up. And they dove our backline, but our backline was really strong, so we were able to handle them. And then me and Balls dove in on Syndra and Lucian.
And here's the near the fatal moment right here. You so close to not dying.
Yeah, I think I could have, like, if I backed up a little bit, W'd myself, and smited Race, I probably would have healed enough to not die there.
Well, so unfortunately a lackluster team fight for you then, but of course your team is full of all-stars, yourself included, to be honest. Who would be your MVP from your team for this game, or this week even?
For this week, I would probably give it to Lemonation. He just has been making a ton of plays on support. He is roaming a lot. He really knows where to be, and his initiations have been really crisp.
Yeah, especially all those hooks that he threw out in the first game you guys had this week.
Yeah, last game, or I guess 2 games ago at this point, he was landing a ton of hooks and just making a lot of plays.
Okay, so then a follow-up Jad asked earlier about you guys kind of fitting into a new style. When are you going to get your revenge back on TSM and Dignitas, and are you guys looking to get that first place back here in the split?
Well, if we play well, I guess we'll beat them. It's not really super on our minds to just go after them. We want to beat everyone that we play.
Okay.
But we sort of understand that we're going through a process, and sometimes we'll lose, and that's okay.
All right. Well, you guys are taking some good learning experiences at the very least, and we'll see more of you guys throughout the split. Thank you very much for your time, Meteos. Congrats on the win.
Thanks.
We've got more games. Send it back over to Riven Code.